from the first album, I've sung on the albums. I've sung in Gaelic, in Latin, I've sung in Japanese, I've sung in so many different languages, and it's really...
At 63, the legendary Enya remains one of the most beautiful and mysterious voices in music. For decades, fans admired her angelic songs and private life. Now, after years of silence, she finally revealed something everyone had long suspected. Is this related to her amazing career or private life? Join us as we uncover the details of this revelation. Enya, whose real name is Ethna Padraigin Ní Brownain, was born on May 17, 1961, in a peaceful village in County Donegal, Ireland. She was the sixth child in a family of 9 siblings, the Brennan family. Her parents, Meir and Leopold Brennan, were both passionate about music.
Leo happens to be Enya's dad, and he's sitting here with us. Lovely to see you, Leo.
Delighted to meet you.
They opened Leo's Tavern in 1968, a place that became famous for musical gatherings. Leo had been in a band before starting his solo career, and Baba, with Spanish roots, performed with the group and later taught music at Gweedore Community School. Enya grew up in Gweedore, an area where Irish was the main language. Her life was filled with tradition, music, and language. Her real name is Ethna, but in the Donegal dialect, it is pronounced as Enya, which later became her stage name. Despite living in a small house with noisy siblings, Enya's childhood was full of love and happiness. Since she was 3 years old, Enya displayed a strong passion for music. She took part in the Face Joil Music Festival and performed in pantomimes at the Gweedore Theatre, captivating the audience with her role as Little Red Riding Hood. Her piano lessons started when she was just 4 years old, in addition to learning English in school. Despite her packed schedule, Enya never viewed music as a chore. It served as a peaceful escape where she could freely express herself. When Enya was only 5 years old, she participated in a singing competition. She made a small mistake by starting with the wrong song, but she fixed it right away. This impressed the audience, and she ended up winning the contest. These early incidents helped Enya develop the confidence she needed to become an artist known for her calm and patient demeanor. Enya not only excelled in music, but she also celebrated her cultural roots by participating in local competitions such as the Gaeltacht Festival. When she was 9, she took part in the Cailín Gaelach competition, which focused on Irish language proficiency, cultural engagement, and stage presence for young girls. These early experiences in cultural events played a significant role in forming her strong bond with her heritage. At the age of 11, Enya went to a boarding school called Milford College, which was operated by the Sisters of Loreto. Her grandfather helped her with this opportunity to further her education. Even though it was tough leaving her family, being at school allowed her to discover new interests like classical music, Latin, art, and painting. She also developed a passion for playing the piano and started to think about becoming a music teacher, following in the footsteps of her mother and grandmother. After Enya graduated from high school at the age of 17, she spent a year in college studying classical music. She briefly taught piano lessons, considering a traditional career path. However, Enya felt drawn towards a different path of music that was uniquely her own. Despite her family's success with the Celtic band Clannad, Enya was determined to carve out her individual musical identity. Clannad was formed in 1970 by some of Enya's older siblings and uncles, who combined folk traditions with new sounds. Nicky Ryan managed the group, with Roma Ryan overseeing their organization, leading to their growing success. After a year of college in 1980, Enya was invited by Nicky Ryan to join Clannad in order to enhance their music with keyboards and additional vocals. Enya participated in their albums Cran Úl and Fuaim, lending her voice to the song En Túil. She was not an official member of Clannad, but instead was brought in for her talents, as she quietly harbored aspirations for a solo career. In 1982, tensions within the Clannad group during a tour in Switzerland caused Nicky and Roma Ryan to leave the band. Enya decided to leave with the Ryans instead of staying behind because she wanted to make music on her terms. Despite some initial hard feelings, time healed the wounds caused by the split. After leaving the comfort of her musical family, Enya set out on a path that would eventually make her the star she is today. Enya was a member of her family's band Clannad for many years before deciding she needed a change. During that time, she developed a close bond with Nicky and Roma Ryan, whom she trusted a lot. She believed that working with them could lead to more opportunities for her career. Nicky presented her with two choices: go back to Gweedore with an uncertain future, or stay in Dublin with him and Roma to explore musical possibilities. Enya ultimately decided to stay with them. Despite having limited funds and no major studio, they maximized the resources they had available. When their bank refused to grant them a loan, Enya sold her saxophone and began giving piano lessons to contribute towards their expenses. Nicky converted an old scout hut in their backyard into a recording space, which they named Aigle Studio, meaning eagle in French. A guest recalled walking through the family home to reach the studio, which was filled with toys belonging to the Ryans' children. Nevertheless, it proved to be the ideal setting for fostering creativity. Enya resided with the Ryans from 1982 to 1989 before eventually purchasing her apartment in Killiney. In the beginning, the three friends rented out Aigle Studio to other musicians to make money. They worked closely together. Nicky was Enya's producer and arranger. Roma wrote her lyrics, and they started their music business, Aigle Music. Enya spent a lot of time perfecting her sound by recording herself performing classical music and then listening to it to develop her style. After leaving Clannad, Enya collaborated with various musicians, mostly by playing keyboards or doing backup vocals. She used a synthesizer on Altan's record Seol Aduaid and had the opportunity to sing on Mike Oldfield's Moonlight Shadow, but couldn't do it because of a contract. Enya also added her talents to a track called Baileyboro and Me, where she played piano and provided backup vocals. Enya started writing her music in 1982 to 1983, including songs on the piano like Angouth on Grian and Miss Claire Remembers. These were recorded at Windmill Lane Studios and released on a cassette called Touch Travel in 1984, credited under her birth name, Aithne Ni Braunain. In 1983, Enya had her first solo performance at Dublin's National Stadium, which was aired on RTE's Festival Folk Show. Despite feeling very nervous, she was able to complete the performance while staying hidden behind her piano. During this period, Niall Morris, a musician, assisted her in creating a demo tape by incorporating additional keyboards into her songs. Roma Ryan thought Enya's music would fit well with visuals, so she sent a tape to film producers. David Putnam was impressed and asked Enya to create music for a movie called The Frog Prince in 1984. Even though Enya wrote 9 pieces, Richard Myhill rearranged her work for the film. Only 2 of her original songs, The Frog Prince and Dreams, made it onto the soundtrack. Despite feeling a bit disconnected from the finished product, Enya viewed it as a significant opportunity for her career. In 1985, the soundtrack for the movie The Frog Prince was the first time she officially used the name Enya. This new spelling of her name was created to be simpler for people who are not Irish.
I think we had decided we'd like to work on an Irish song, and it was in the vein of traditional Irish music.
Also in that year, Enya lent her voice to 3 songs on Christy Moore's album, Ordinary Man. Enya started giving interviews as a solo artist in 1986. She talked about her Celtic heritage and mentioned that her music would always reflect this spirit, regardless of the style she experimented with. In 1985, a significant moment occurred for Enya when BBC producer Tony Macaulay requested a song from her for a TV series titled The Celts. She gave him March of the Celts, which he liked so much that he asked her to compose music for the entire series. This opportunity gave Enya the freedom to have full creative control. She worked on recording 72 minutes of music at Aigle Studio and BBC Studios in London. Instead of making music to match specific scenes, Enya was able to focus on creating her ideal sound, a mix of layered vocals, keyboards, soft percussion, and influences from Celtic, classical, and folk music. In 1987, some of her music was put out as her first solo album titled Enya. The album did okay, reaching number 8 in Ireland and number 69 in the UK. Her first song, I Want Tomorrow, came out around the same time. The song Bodicea was later used by the Fugees in their popular song Ready or Not, leading to a legal agreement and giving credit to Enya. Enya helped Sinead O'Connor by reciting Psalm 91 in Irish for the song Never Get Old on her debut album, The Lion and the Cobra. Enya later paid tribute to Sinead after her death in 2023 by remembering their collaboration. A couple of weeks after releasing her first album, Enya's career got a big boost. Rob Dickens, who was the chairman of Warner Music UK and a fan of Clannad, was impressed by her music. He met her and the Ryans at an award show and decided to sign her. Dickens agreed to let Enya have full control over her creativity with no time constraints. With this new backing, she left Atlantic and signed with Warner's Geffen Records for distribution in America. Enya began working on her next album, Watermark, when she signed with Warner. The recording took place from June 1987 to April 1988. Initially done in analog at Eagle Studio, the album was later re-recorded in digital format at Orinoco Studios in London at Dickens's request. In September 1988, Watermark was unexpectedly successful when it was released. It reached number 5 in the UK and later climbed to number 25 on the Billboard 200 chart in America. The album's main single, Orinoco Flow, was actually the final song written for the album. Although it wasn't originally planned to be a single, it turned out to be the perfect choice. Orinoco Flow topped the charts in the UK for 3 weeks and paved the way for new age music to become popular. So, amidst her career, how far did she go and how much did she sell? Let's find out. When Enya began her music career, people had no idea of the success she would achieve. Hailing from a small town in Ireland, she brought forth a unique sound and dream. Her music slowly spread worldwide, touching the hearts of many. Despite not seeking out fame or attention, Enya became a well-known global artist with her distinctive and memorable style. Enya has sold more than 80 to 100 million albums worldwide, making her success one of the most remarkable in music history. Not many artists have achieved such high album sales, especially with music that is tranquil, soothing, and full of emotion. Enya captivated listeners and made them pause and appreciate her music in a world that is usually hectic and loud. Some of Enya's albums are more popular than others, with a few becoming significant milestones. Her album Watermark, which came out in 1988, was the one that introduced her unique sound to the world. Hits like Orinoco Flow helped to spread her name far and wide. The music was gentle, but had a powerful impact on listeners. Watermark marked the start of Enya's journey into the homes of millions of fans. Enya's album Shepherd Moons was released in 1991, and it further solidified her popularity. The album did well on the charts, proving that her success with Watermark was not a fluke. Shepherd Moons attracted more fans who would continue to support Enya in the years to come. In 2000, Enya released A Day Without Rain, an album filled with soft and comforting songs that resonated with many. However, the true magic happened when the tragic events of September 11th, 2001 occurred. One of Enya's songs, Only Time, became a source of solace for millions of people during that difficult time. Its peaceful and soothing sound helped to mend broken hearts and provided a glimmer of hope when it was most needed. As a result, A Day Without Rain experienced a significant resurgence, becoming one of the best-selling albums of the era, with Only Time emerging as one of the most important songs of the early 2000s. Enya received multiple awards over the years for her hard work and talent. Winning 4 Grammy Awards was a major accomplishment. She was also nominated for a Golden Globe and an Oscar, demonstrating her impact in both music and film.
Released in 2015, and now I have a nomination.
Yes, I know. Everybody was waiting.
But even with this fame and global recognition, Enya had her fair share of challenges. While a lot of artists aspire to be famous, Enya never sought out celebrity status. She felt uneasy with the attention that came with her success. As her music became more popular, the demand for her to be in the public eye, do interviews, and attend events increased. However, Enya valued her privacy over being in the public eye. The idea of living a public life weighed heavily on her, so she tried to avoid it as much as possible. Her preference for being alone influenced her career significantly. A key impact was the extended periods between her album releases. While some artists release new albums frequently to remain popular, Enya chose to work at her speed.
A few years off, I felt it was important to me and to the music to take time and gather new inspiration.
Her perfectionist nature was also a factor. She needed every song and note to be perfect before presenting it to her audience. This meticulous approach sometimes resulted in fans waiting years for new albums. However, each new project reflected the dedication and effort she put into it. Many people did not understand Enya's music, even though it had a unique sound. Enya was often put in the pop category, where lively and easy to remember songs are usually found. Some people saw her music as just something to listen to quietly in the background without paying much attention. But these labels did not really show the true depth and emotion in her songs. Enya's music conveyed feelings of calm, sorrow, optimism, and amazement, all wrapped up in gentle tunes that transported listeners on peaceful journeys. Despite being misunderstood, Enya did not let it hold her back, but it was a difficulty she faced throughout her career. One challenge Enya faced was feeling pressure after achieving great success. Whenever one of her albums did well, there was a need for the next one to be even more successful. This added pressure made it difficult for Enya to express herself freely through her music. Despite the expectation to outdo herself, Enya remained dedicated to creating music that was authentic to her. Even though she tried to block out outside influences, the pressure to continuously exceed expectations was always present. Enya made a different career choice from many musicians. Rather than touring and performing live to promote her albums, connect with fans, and boost sales, she chose not to tour at all. This decision surprised many people in the music industry because touring is typically seen as essential. Despite the financial and critical risk of not performing live, Enya stuck to her decision. She believed that her music would succeed without the traditional methods of constant travel, public appearances, and live shows. Now let's dive into the not-too-known aspect of Enya. What do we not know about her private life? Enya's lifestyle is unlike many other famous musicians. Instead of craving attention, she values peace and privacy. Even though her music has made her famous around the world, she prefers to stay out of the spotlight and let her songs do the talking for her. Enya's beautiful home, Manderley Castle, is one of the most intriguing aspects of her life. The 157-year-old mansion is located just outside Dublin and was purchased by Enya in 1997. She spent years restoring it to be both safe and aesthetically pleasing. Security became a top priority after encountering stalkers, which led her to install high walls, new gates, and alarm systems. In a scary incident, her housekeeper was tied up, but Enya remained calm and alerted authorities from her safe room. Enya personally selected every detail inside the castle, from the decorations to the furnishings. Even as Enya's popularity increased, she rarely granted interviews. She preferred to keep her personal life private and focus on her music. In the 1990s, she said that her music should speak for itself, not her personal life. By 2005, she had come to terms with her shyness and saw it as a part of her identity. She believed that her feelings could be expressed through her songs rather than through public appearances. In 2008, she expressed that she valued her privacy and freedom more than addressing public misconceptions. Some people criticized her for being distant or detached, but she never changed her approach. Her creative output was equally distinctive. One notable aspect of her music is the method she used to record her vocals. Enya frequently recorded multiple layers of her voice, sometimes as many as 500 tracks, to achieve her distinctive sound. This meticulous and time-consuming approach gave her music a depth and richness that set it apart from others. Despite people talking and being curious about Enya's romantic relationships, she decided to do things differently. She chose not to get married and doesn't have kids on purpose, but she enjoys being an aunt to her many nieces and nephews. In 1991, she confessed to being worried that someone might only love her for her fame and not for who she really is. By 1997, she briefly considered starting a family, but ultimately decided she was happier going her way without feeling pressured. Enya has discussed her spirituality, mentioning that she sees herself as spiritual rather than religious. She feels calm and serene in quiet, empty churches. While she usually keeps her political beliefs private, she did touch on the wealth distribution issue in Ireland back in 1988. In 1997, Enya was hurt in a car accident in Dublin. Getting better from the crash was tough, but it made her stronger and more health conscious. Also, in 1997, after Princess Diana passed away, Enya was pleased to have her song Watermark featured on a tribute album because Diana had loved the piece. Enya not only enjoys music, but also has a passion for art and books. She likes to collect paintings by well-known Irish and British artists and also enjoys painting herself, although she doesn't usually share her artwork. Additionally, she likes to collect first editions of classic books, including Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier and The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, which are among her favorite books. Enya loves watching classic black and white films for entertainment, especially those made by Alfred Hitchcock. She is a big fan of crime dramas and period dramas like Breaking Bad and Mad Men, which she enjoys watching with her close friends, Nikki and Roma. Now, after keeping quiet for so long, people can only imagine how she is now. So, right now, at age 63, what is she up to? Enya currently resides in Manderley Castle, where she enjoys a peaceful life away from the hustle and bustle of the world. She continues to create music, but now does so in a private setting without the stress of meeting regular release deadlines. Despite mentioning the possibility of new songs around her 60th birthday, there has been no official confirmation of a new album. In her limited public statements, Enya expressed contentment with her decisions, emphasizing that privacy is essential for her creativity and happiness. She never sought fame, instead focusing on the joy of making music, a sentiment that her devoted fans have always appreciated. Since late 2019, Enya's official social media pages have become more active, with fans seeing more posts on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Her songs and playlists have also been updated on platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Some of her classic music videos have been upgraded to higher quality. There have been watch parties and vinyl re-releases to celebrate the anniversaries of her popular albums. It was even revealed by close sources that Enya has been working on new music, which was confirmed by her sister Moya Brennan in 2019. In November 2020, her group marked the 20th anniversary of A Day Without Rain by releasing a special YouTube video. The video featured personal notes from Enya and her close colleagues, Roma and Nikki Ryan, as well as footage from the production of the Only Time and Wild Child music videos. In 2021, fans celebrated the 30th anniversary of Shepherd Moons with a watch party. Nikki Ryan announced that Eagle Studio had acquired new recording equipment during the COVID-19 pandemic, and Enya and the Ryans were eager to begin working again. Also, a 20th anniversary vinyl of Enya's song, May It Be, was also released around the same time. Enya's music still influences emerging artists. Many people, especially in R&B and hip-hop, have used samples from her 1986 song Bawadasia. In 2022, Metro Boomin and The Weeknd used a sample from Bawadasia in their popular song Creepin'. Enya helped decide on the song's title, liking names such as Creepin' the most. By December 2024, the song Creepin' had won the BMI London Song of the Year award, giving credit to Enya and Nikki Ryan for their composition. In June 2023, Enya's rare 1997 compilation, A Box of Dreams, was reissued on 6 vinyl records with new notes by Enya and Roma Ryan. Enya also left a message in Irish, suggesting future collaborations with Sweetness. In September 2023, a celebration was held for the 35th anniversary of Watermark. The event included the release of new vinyl editions and a special Dolby Atmos version of Orinoco Flow. In addition, Enya's official website was revamped after being inactive for a while. Enya's album Watermark won the RTE Choice Music Prize for Classic Irish Album on February 20th, 2025. The award was given out in Dublin on March 6th. Even though Enya wasn't there, her message was shared by Warner Music Ireland's managing director. Despite everything, Enya stays committed to her music and stays true to who she is. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.